When it comes to creating fun animations to use in your social content or in client work, it can get very time consuming if you're creating animations from scratch. That can be a really good thing to do and a powerful skill to learn, for sure. But in this video, I'm going to take you through a real world example where my client, Kodiak Cakes, needed some ads done on a tight timeline, and I still wanted to put a few animations in there without it eating a bunch of my time up. So I found this website called paperanimator.com, and I am in no way affiliated with them. I just found it and started using it, and it's been a big time saver for me. There are other paper animation websites out there that I haven't tried, but I found this one, it works, so I just went with it. Now this is a very live, raw kind of edit, so bear with me as I work through some creative decision making throughout the video, and I hope you find some good value in it. If you want to see more of this kind of content, hit the subscribe button and enjoy. Okay, so let's just watch the ad first as is.
Raise the bar when it comes to taste with Kodiak's chewy granola bars. Packed with protein and whole grains, these bars come in flavor favorites like s'mores, chocolate chip, and double chocolate. It's wild what you and a Kodiak chewy bar can do.
Okay, so this is by no means the final product, but I'm just playing around with a few ideas right now. And one idea that I have is to continue on with this kind of stop motion effect that I've been establishing throughout this ad campaign, which is pretty cool. So we've got this box that's kind of just moving, has a little bit of movement to it. This stuff has a little bit of movement to it, and nothing's like really smooth, right? It's all kind of choppy and chunky, which is the style throughout this whole video. Feels a little bit stop motion-y, which I like. And you can see this bar that I animated in at the very beginning. Same thing, has this kind of stop motion feel. And just real quick, the way I did that, I just added a transform effect over here and moved it, animated it just as I would anything else, but I just changed these keyframes to hold keyframes. Same thing with this this box right here. Just made all these keyframes hold keyframes and just mess with the rotation and the position a little bit, and that's what gives it this kind of stop motion feel. And I made it every 5 frames or so, made a keyframe. But that's not what we're focusing on right now. We're focusing on these boxes right here. This is what I want to animate next, and I want it to continue this kind of theme of stop motion, and I could apply this same effect to these and it would probably look pretty good. But because these are very 2D, which is fine, I want to add just a little bit more animation to them and texture as well. So I have this idea to make them look like this paper animator. Let me turn this off. This paper kind of unfold. We have this craft paper in the background, and I want to kind of match that style a little bit. And this is kind of a risk. I don't know if the client will like this, but we're just going to try it out and see what they think. And then we'll go from there. But I wanted to show you this really quickly because of how cool this effect is. So all I'm doing is locating, since I've already done the first one, we won't do that one. But I'm just locating where this is in my Finder. Right-clicking, reveal in Finder. So I've got it there, and then I've got this really great website called paperanimator.com, where I can just drag and drop anything on here. Let me just refresh. There's this really cool website, and I've got this really cool website. So I'm just going to find this, and I've got this really cool website called paperanimator.com, and I'm just going to drag and drop this on here, use this image, and boom, like the animation's already done. Don't need to do too much. I'm going to change this to landscape though, and then just size it up nice and big. Change it to a transparent background. If you render this out like this, it will have this background. I don't want that. So we want the green screen on there. And then you can just play with these parameters. And I'm going to actually I do like this white background on there, but I don't know. But on the other one that I animated, it didn't look this good, and so I'm just going to take it off. If I need to add it on later, I can add it on a little bit later probably. So what I'm going to do is just take that all the way down and then mess with the texture strength. You can mess with the shadow, the the intensity of it, and the offset, which is really cool. I'm going to take the shadow off. If I need to add it in later, I can. And then just like bring the movement down a little bit. That's looking pretty good. I don't want it to be too crazy a movement. I just want to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm going to remember these settings for the next one. So we've got the size at 80, the movement at 31, and then everything else is kind of down. So that's basically, oh, and the texture strength, that's an important one. Texture strength, let's bring it down to 15. And I also want to toggle this paper unfold on button and then just hit download and export one credit. You can buy your credits and then just use them as you need to. And once that's done downloading, I'm just going to bring it into my project here. So I'll just drop it in, put it on the timeline, and then kind of frame it up where this other one is. Fact. And then we're going to use Ultra Key and then key this green screen out. Okay. And in fact, I already have some, the correct position on this, so I'm going to just keep it the same. So we're going to just make this the same. I'm going to turn these off so we can see what's going on here. And then this is taking too long to animate on. So I'm going to get rid of the first few frames. And I want it to animate from here. See, this is 1, 2, 3, and then I want it to animate. Yeah. I'm just taking a few frames out so it just comes on a little faster. Something like that. By this frame, I want it to be done.
The chip.
That's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to watch this back now.
S'mores, chocolate chip.
Oh, that's pretty fast. So maybe I'll just have the animation last longer. So I'm going to go to the beginning again.
Like s'mores.
Whoa. Just gonna try this one more time.
It's like s'mores.
Cool. So that's a little better. And I'm going to just change this one up a little bit.
Like s'mores, chocolate chip, and
cool. And then I'm going to do that with the last one too.
s'mores, chocolate chip, and double chocolate.
Another thing I might do is just kind of offset these a little bit so they're kind of coming on from different parts instead of just, coming all on in the exact same way at the exact same time. So what I might do is this one I can make come on in the middle. This one I want to come on maybe, really bring this down and the position down. First, I'm going to actually create, so eventually this is where I want it to kind of end up. So I'll create keyframes here. Then we're going to go back, and I want it to come down from like, you know, somewhere like over here. And I can do that, but I want to continue this kind of stop motion animation style. So when it gets here, I'll create keyframes, and then when we get here, I'll create keyframes, and then when the animation finishes, I'll let it be in the middle. And then we're just going to highlight everything and hit hold, and let's see how that looks.
Chocolate chip.
Oops. Turn that off.
Chocolate chip.
Yeah,
Chocolate chip.
It's still not quite there for me. And I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe it's because these are so close together. Just playing with the timing of the keyframes a little bit.
Chocolate chip.
You know what it is? I think it's because it's landing in the exact same spot. So maybe what I need to do is actually make this one a little smaller. And then change the position of it. And then change this one to be a little bit smaller when we land on it here. I'm just going to move these down. So we're leaving them all up, but this one to be a little bit smaller. And then we're just going to stack them. And maybe we need a... something like that. See how that looks.
It's like s'mores, chocolate chip.
I like the idea of it. It's just not executing really well, and I think it's just where this is coming in at is not jiving with me very much. And it's probably, maybe I just have one too many keyframes in here. What is this first one? 89? Yeah, maybe it's because this is... So I'm just messing with the size of this a little bit. And messing with the keyframes a little bit. And maybe
Chocolate chip.
Come out a little bit.
Chocolate chip.
I think it's just like the timing of this. I think it's because it stays there. Because we have it go 1, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go.
Chocolate chip.
Yeah, that's looking a little better.
Like s'mores, chocolate chip, and
the double chocolate, right? We're gonna bring this one down.
double chocolate.
Yeah, something like this.
S'mores, chocolate chip, and
I'm gonna get rid of this position one because this is, whoops, just this one.
chip.
And I don't mind the scale kind of jumping there. Oh man, I don't know. Jumping.
Chip.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of, and then this one can maybe do a similar thing where it's, you know, maybe the position is over here. This is where I want it to land, right? So I'm kind of working backwards. That's where I want it to land, but then this is where I want it to actually maybe start. And then we're going to do these hold keyframes.
And double. And double chocolate.
That's kind of cool.
It's like s'mores, chocolate chip, and
I think why I like that other one so much is because it's a subtle change in the position. This is a pretty big jump right here. So I'm just going to change it so it's a little closer.
chip.
There we go.
S'mores, chocolate chip, and double chocolate.
Cool. And to create a little more separation, I think I will add a shadow back in there. So I'm just going to go up here, type in drop shadow, and mess with this a little bit. So we're going to turn the opacity all the way up to like 80, maybe even like 85, and bring the distance up. And then and then change the direction of it so it's over here. And then just bring up the softness. Something like that. I'm going to copy and paste this on these ones. There's a little more separation there.
Like s'mores, chocolate chip, and double chocolate. It's
cool. And that is how we went from this boring
like
thing
s'mores, chocolate chip, and double chocolate
to this much cooler thing.
like s'mores, chocolate chip, and double chocolate. It's wild what you and a